Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us at the break. Dave Hodges, James White here on the Common Sense Show, brought to you by TalkNetwork.com, and we're sponsored by FoodForLiberty.com/Hodges, where we got that grab-and-go bucket still available, 6 months, same as cash. Again, you can get yours at FoodForLiberty.com/Hodges. Well, Pastor, I have real concerns about Donald Trump, and I have real hope for Donald Trump. And I hearken back to the 1992 election when it looked like Ross Perot was actually going to be the voice of the people, and then he fizzled out under very suspicious circumstances. And I fear that Trump may go the same way. I just want to get your thoughts on how you view the Trump candidacy.
I think it's a little zoo, and the man literally makes a mock of the whole entire system, and it's amazing that the American people are so duped and deceived, and they're so desperate to let anybody come in there, including a clown, including someone who would just say anything that they're willing to hear. I mean, when you have somebody that is literally an insider, that would be so bold to turn around and tell you exactly what goes on behind the scenes, and then the American people actually buy it hook, line, and sinker, and not actually turn the finger around on him and ask the real hard question. For instance, how do we know that you're not going to be a true president? How do we know that the same things you used to do with the backroom deals with the boys in these smoke room rooms, that you're not going to do the same thing with the general public? This man cannot be taken serious. He never can be taken serious, never. And if anybody does take it serious, they deserve exactly what they get. I mean, when you try to look at this system of monarchies, oligarchies, and we're in this plutocracy, it's just utterly amazing because you watch this, Hillary Clinton, all right? Hadn't we had enough of the Bushes and the Clintons? I mean, we're going on almost 2 decades to where there's been nothing but Bushes and Clintons running his office. But I will tell you this. Is that he is a lot more serious as far as getting the information out to the American public and throwing a lot of politicians under the bus in order to try to be elected. Now, I don't believe that any president has been actually elected. I actually think they've been selected. But it is utterly amazing that he is still, to this point, still leading in the polls. Now, I don't think there's any difference between the Democrats or the Republicans. I think that they're all rats. I think that we need a total reset of the whole entire system. And until we get that, we're going to continue to keep experiencing what we're experiencing in America right now, which is a country that is quickly heading to third world status and being impoverished. And if Donald Trump get in there, it's the same thing. It's going to be business as usual. There's nothing really truly going to change. So I really truly can't believe that any politicians, if their mouth is moving, that they're actually telling the truth. I actually believe the opposite. If their mouth is moving, they're telling a lie.
Well, Pastor, Donald Trump to me is, of course, I still have a wait and see attitude. I'm not by any means on his side, fully on his side. However, I do have to say, and you kind of touched on this, I got to give the guy credit for bringing up issues that most people would have just never brought up, never thought about. Most people would have sat on their couch, on their duffs, on their blessed assurance, and expected the government to take care of things. At least he is motivating people to think and get out from in front of the television and actually be active. So, I mean, regardless of whether he's the real deal or ends up being president or not, I have to appreciate the fact that there's more people, I think, interested in what's going on because of him than there would have been without him. Do you think that's a fair statement?
Well, Jim, I actually think that I'll give an example. I'll give an example by using Ron Paul as an example, as well as Ross Perot. Here are two people that would no doubt have the majority of the American, as far as Republicans go in that party, Grand Old Party, with them. And then all of a sudden the rug was swept out from under their feet. The same thing is going to happen to Donald Trump. Donald Trump apparently made some type of deal, which he exposed the Grand Old Party for, or the Republican Party, which he exposed. What had happened is that something happened between him and or Clinton or something like that, and he said that was not part of the deal. And what he was saying when he gave out that information is that, you know what, you asked me to run under this platform, and we made a deal that I wouldn't run under the independent party, under that platform right there. But apparently y'all doing something, talking about the GOP or the Republican Party, about not keeping their end of the bargain. So I really truly don't know what's really taking place right now as far as the politics go concerning Donald Trump or Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton or Jeb Bush or any other people that are running. But I do know this. I do know that for decades here in America, we've always had what you would call hope in presidencies, that things would change under their leadership. Well, Kennedy was one that people had a great hope in. They killed him. Reagan, they straightened him out by shooting him and told him pretty much, I tell you what, you want to go rogue and go off what we want you to be doing as far as the powers that be, you're going to end up just like Kennedy. And now here we are with oligarchies ruling over us, Bush, Clinton, and here we are again and again and again. So I don't have any, I guess I'm a pessimistic in this order right here. I have literally no confidence in the political arena whatsoever at all. Does he say all the right things? Sure, that's what politicians are supposed to do. Politicians are supposed to say anything they can in order to get elected to deceive the people, just like Barack Hussein Obama. He said, I'm going to give you change that you can't believe in, and guess what? And guess what? We have change that we just simply can't believe in because nothing has changed up under him. Our national debt has doubled since he's been in office, all but making sure that we're in indentured service, our children, our children, our children, our children's children, and nobody has the stomach to balance his budget. And I don't know how Donald Trump is going to balance his budget. Many times he's declared bankruptcy, but remember, it's a business deal. And people have to pay attention to how he presents himself, what he says, and how he says it. This man is an insider. This man knows what's going on, and because he's saying what he's saying, I believe that he's only saying what he's saying because he's allowed to say it. Because these people have no problems whatsoever at all knocking off anybody that actually goes against their order.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying there, Pastor. I'm speaking about he being Trump, he has a personal relationship with the Clintons. They have attended each other's marriages, they're each other's funerals. I think he's trying to destroy the Republican Party so Hillary can get elected. What is your thought on that?
I can agree with that 100% because, again, I know that the majority of the American people are thinking that they're doing the right thing when they actually go to the polls and they vote and all this stuff and they're listening to the next politician that's coming on and stuff. But people have lost way. They have lost way. They have lost comprehension and understanding to what this world is all about. You know, we're back in the ages to where bloodline, this is what it's all about. These people are rulers. These people are all together in bloodline. And these sickos actually think that they are better than all of us and that our sole purpose for existing is to actually support and actually just serve them at every end. And I think we've lost our way with that because we have gotten so used to being oppressed. We have gotten so used to being dependent that we're willing to take anyone that will say the right words. I mean, if the devil ran for the office of presidency here in the United States of America, as charismatic as he is, I mean, I'm sure he would get elected and people will have the same view. So, I mean, I really, truly don't mean to sway people's mind politically in any agenda that they or any way that they feel right for us voting their conscience, but we really, truly need to ask ourselves, can we really, truly depend on this system that is in front of us? Are we not going to continue on to experience the same thing, business as usual? Is there really, truly going to be a change? No, I personally believe that America, as we have known it, is finished. I think that we're living in a utopia. I think that what we need to do is think about self-preservation, and the only politics we should be playing is protecting ourselves from the politicians. And that's what I really, truly believe. I mean, I'm all about sobering people up to the realities of where we're finding ourselves at right now. And when we're staring at a $20 trillion national debt, $65 trillion that is not even counted for, $212 trillion in unfunded liabilities, including Medicaid and Medicare, we're in some serious, very serious trouble because it simply cannot be paid back. And according to the Bible, the only way that we're going to be able to satisfy this debt is our children. It's going to have to go in slavery. And our children and our children's children. And that's the reason why we're selling all our land off to China and stuff. And guess what? All this is happening under the Grand Old Party, because if I understand it or not, the Grand Old Party actually has the majority in the Senate right now. And they seem to can't stop Barack Hussein Obama for doing anything that he wants. And I like to end this particular saying right here on this. I've been alive 49 years, and 40 years of my life in this country, we have literally been at war. I mean, literal war. I spent 10 years in the United States Army in the 82nd Airborne Division as a paratrooper. And the same thing that I saw as a child, a young kid or a teenager, when I went into the military, I see the same thing now. I don't see wars decreasing. I see wars increasing. And if it's up to the powers that be, Donald Trump gets in office the way he's talking, that means you can expect your children is getting ready to go out and be a bunch of cannon fodder for the New World Order's agenda, which they are promoting. They don't care nothing about us at all.
Well, Pastor, those are sobering words here. We come to the end of this segment. On the other side of the break, Pastor, I'd like to talk to you about the fact that, you hear it said a lot of times, God bless America, God's got his hand on America. And that really flies in the face of what I've been taught when we have 57 million babies being murdered. We have now the gay agenda has pretty much overtaken everything, and now there's gender-neutral bathrooms and on and on. But I don't know necessarily, Pastor, if God is blessing America or if God's blessing is any longer on America. And we can talk about that and other topics on the other side of the break. This is James White along with Dave Hodges with the Common Sense Show on TalkNetwork.com. And we'll be back with our special guest, Pastor Charles Dow, right after these messages.